Okay, let me first start by saying I have the utmost respect for the Dalai Lama. I am not someone, folks, that thinks in one dimensions. I've tried. It's not possible for me. You can hate me for it, and that's your journey with yourself. And you can blame it also on my neurodivergence. But I tend to see things in complicated ways because most things are complicated, and so I am not someone to see only one part of someone's life history and hold them accountable for it and only it, right? However, I think a lot has been said, and the reason I'm making this video today, which is going to be slightly longer, is because a lot of you have asked me for it, but also I'm seeing a lot of content which is talking about how the Dalai Lama was such a wonderful figure, is such a wonderful figure. Of course, he has such just the best intentions for this child, and he's loving, he loves children. So how can we even disrespect him? And on the other end of this, there are people who are just jumping on the bandwagon of wanting to really water down everything he has done in his life and say that this particular thing that he did is a reflection of everything else that he does. I am somewhere, no, I am not in these polar extremes, but I do want to say that as someone who works with trauma survivors, sexual trauma survivors all day, every day, this is what my book is about, this is what my website is about, this is what I talk about relentlessly. I am interested in a world where we are able to see two opposing truths in one form, where we are able to think about nuance more clearly without telling the person who is hurt that they should shut up and they made the mistake of even bringing this up. So this morning I was playing around with my cat, and she's this wonderful office cat that has blessed us, and I really love her. I generally think of myself as a kind, loving, devoted person. So obviously I'm not trying to hurt her, but in that loving energy of mine, I kind of picked her up, and I do this often. We know cats don't love to be picked up. Picked her up and I squeezed her really tight, and I kind of stayed there even though she was wriggling and she was trying to get away from me, right? And you know what? In so many ways, everyone else in the office and in my family who visits, when they pick up this cat, there's a similar response. So in some ways, I have trained this cat that, when humans touch you, they're going to want to take on something that you don't want to give them. And because you're so cute and you're so sweet, you should just give it to us. You're such a cuddly little thing. So please give it to us. And in some ways, I'm not being very consensual to what my cat wants. Now, a lot of us don't think this deeply. A lot of us are just like, what is she talking about? Just forget it. It's a cat. A cat doesn't have these many feelings. But it's not about the cat only. It's about me. I can be a person who can be doing all of this work and who can have all of these loving qualities and intentions, and I can still cross the line of what is comfortable for somebody that is that is smaller than me, somebody that doesn't really knows how to say no. My cat's not going to come out and push me away. At the very least, she can scratch me or she can bite me, but she can't really harm me in some big way. And so let's think about the boy in that picture, right? And if you remember the video, if you please do watch the video. If you remember it, the Dalai Lama was hugging the child with, I believe, what I see as genuine intention to connect with him, and his body language was kind of hesitant. He was like asking for the hug to stop. He's pushing back a little bit, and then when the moment of come, please suck my tongue happens, which I agree with you is really off-putting to see on camera, and it's off-putting to wonder. Like, the brain instantly thinks, especially a brain that's very used to physical distance, unlike those of us in India who are used to a lot of physical touch, wanted, unwanted. our minds can go, whoa, like this is a predator, this is predatorial behavior, right? And a lot of it is on the older person who felt that he could take advantage of the child's really helpless nature there, because he wanted to give love. But if the child doesn't want to receive it in the way that you're giving, and you can see from their body language that they're wriggling, they're moving away from you, just like the cat in my previous example, then that's on you as someone who is older, as someone who should be able to say, okay, I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I didn't really mean to. Are you okay? And so I'm interested in a world where organizations and organizational heads, when things happen like this, they can come out there in the public and really name these dynamics for themselves, to educate all of us about what happens, how genuine mistakes can happen, and even with the best intentions. And that is what it means to do trauma work. That is what it means to be spiritual, right? To be able to ask ourselves these deep questions and not just submit, tell your office to kind of put out a press release. I hope this made a little bit of sense. If you are a childhood sexual abuse survivor that is feeling really triggered by the incident that happened, that the Dalai Lama was a part of, if you're feeling really triggered by the words, please suck my tongue, I'm with you. I'm sending you a lot of stable, grounding energy. I would recommend trying to shut off social media for a while, allow the buzz to calm down, and then make your own decision about what you think really happened here, and how we can protect our children from being born in a world which takes them for granted.